How's it hanging, fellas? I'm OrosZ, and this is another episode of Half-Life, and in today's episode we're continuing going through Black Mesa. What else we can do in Half-Life? It's not like an open world game where I can choose wherever I want to go. I mean, I love these scripted parts in Half-Life whenever like something happens. I love this. I don't know why. I remember watching someone, I don't remember who it was, playing Uncharted 4, and they were keep making fun of the game because it's like, oh, it's scripted. Oh man, I wonder, will I make it? Of course I fucking will, but it's like, man, it's like, I guess they were complaining about that you don't really get a choice in Uncharted. That's not the fucking kind. If they want a fucking choice, why don't they play an RPG where you can actually make choices? I mean, in Uncharted, do we expect to fucking make choices? Do you play Uncharted for that? It's like, okay, I can understand that they may not be a fan of the fact that in Uncharted you don't really get to make any significant choice. You don't really, nothing really you do has any like significant weight to it because you know the character will kind of get out of it in the end. But it's like watching fucking Indiana Jones and like hoping for him to fucking die at the end. Do you fucking do that? Oh, so here's like an alien. But why the fuck is it beating the fuck out of head crabs? The head crabs don't even seem like they're their enemy. The head crabs seem like they're on his side. They're the same kind of alien. But then the head crabs don't really want to be involved in this. Also barnacles, or as I like to call them, ropes. Yes, ropes that can help you to traverse pits. And barnacles, I don't think I got fooled by a barnacle, and even if I did, walked maybe sometimes on purpose into a barnacle, I usually shot him before he actually done anything to me. I think in Half-Life 2 there's even parts where you actually have to be like lifted up by a barnacle. Unless maybe you don't have to, but you can. Also, if you think all the episodes are this fucking long, because the first episode was 20 minutes long, the second one was 20-something minutes long, this one's 30 minutes long. No. See, I was like, oh man, what's happening? Ouch! I broke my legs. I broke my HIV suit legs. I know I'm saying the name of the suit wrong, but I thought HIV sounds funnier than HIF, whatever the fuck it's called. It's the anti-HIV suit because it doesn't have a dick hatch, so you can't open and get any fucking diseases in. That's a great idea. And Gorgeous Freeman, if you ever watched Gorgeous Freeman, then Gordon Freeman, like instead of, you know, Gordon Freeman doesn't have a voice, he's a silent protagonist, and in that animation, Gordon Freeman has Duke Nukem's voice, which I find really fucking hilarious. I always thought, like, whenever I seen fan art of, like, Duke Nukem and Gordon Freeman, you know, like, Duke Nukem, he's, like, the fucking badass one, and here's Gordon Freeman, some nerdy scientist, but they're friends. I always thought, like, man, that would be so fucking fun. Like those comics about the Chad and the dweeb. But instead of that, like, fucking Duke Nukem and Gordon Freeman, and like, instead of like getting to some fucking everyday shenanigans or getting up to something like fighting fucking aliens. Because now that I think about it, I just thought of it. I'd never thought of that before. Maybe the reason people like to make fan art of these two is because they're both fighting aliens. Duke Nukem defends Earth from alien invasion, those alien bastards, and Gordon Freeman gets out of Black Mesa by killing aliens. And you know what's always thought funny? That every single other Valve game they ever made originated from Half-Life. That's why it looks... They all play like Half-Life, basically. Counter-Strike was originally a mod for Half-Life, and then they turned it into a game. Counter-Strike 1.6, that's the latest version of that original one. And then they fucking... In Counter-Strike, some people were playing around and they made a game mode where instead of... It was a team of people, you know, 5 or 4 people, I don't know, 4 people I guess. It was a team of 4 people, and the enemies were like a shit ton of terrorists, but they all have knives, and they didn't have any weapons. And that's how the idea for Left 4 Dead came to fruition, I guess. And then another fucking, well, that didn't originate. Well, there was a Quake mod that was called Team Fortress. And then there was Team Fortress, which was later renamed into Team Fortress Classic, which was a Half-Life mod. And then there was Team Fortress 2. My favorite game, well, maybe my second favorite game of all time. Yes, I actually think that. My first favorite game of all time, I would say, is Borderlands 2. I fucking love that game, and I don't know, then there would be like Crash Bandicoot 2 or something. My favorite games are always 2s. Half-Life 2? I don't really. I mean, I like the game, but it's like, I feel like if I played it when it came out, I would be fucking amazed by how great it looks, how many little details there are. Because the same way I am amazed, I really fucking love Grand Theft Auto 3, because as a child, when I was playing that game, I was like really young, I was like 3. And I wasn't even playing that game, my dad was, and I was just sitting next to him looking at the game. So I guess I'm glad that my parents didn't really give a fuck that the game was pretty much violent, you know, you could go on prostitutes. Actually, whenever I played the game, I never even knew how to go on prostitutes, I never even knew that was an option. I knew there were prostitutes in the game because I knew a cheat code where you could basically play as any other model in the game. Nice. Here to save the day, or not. Another barnacle, except this one has like a pink rope instead of a normal one. Look, these fucking cockroach models are so gross, I hate them. I never seen a cockroach in my life. I don't know, I guess I'm lucky that I never fucking seen a cockroach in my life. But I really never did. And I hope to fucking God I never will, because I swear to God, whenever I even think of a cockroach, just I get this fucking strange feeling down my spine that I wish I never fucking did. Check it out, shit happening without sound effects for some reason. It's funny, these scientists. Funny that, you know, the game even allows you to kill scientists and just basically murder everyone. Apart from that one that didn't want to die for some reason. But yeah, basically in the whole game I keep murdering everyone I fucking see on my path, because you can't trust anyone but yourself. Both in real life and video games. You can't ever trust anyone, because they'll betray you. And then you'll be betrayed. And then you'll think at yourself that you're a fucking dumbass because you believed some fucking asshole who might have looked like a cool character and then betrayed you. What is your, like, one of your most memorable video game betrayals of all time? My one, because it might have been one of my, like, first betrayal that I actually felt something like, oh my god, what? No! Was in, Vice City, when Lance Vance betrays you at the end. You can kind of see, like, when I was replaying Vice City, you kind of see the signs. He's getting, like, really mad at you that you don't give him the fair cut. He doesn't feel like he's treated fairly by you. Even though you do fucking treat him fairly, it's just... Oh, that guy's still alive. Okay, he just hangs out, I guess. And, you know, you treat him fairly, but he's kind of going paranoid from this whole thing about, you know... I mean, probably running a drug empire isn't fucking a walk in the park, so I can understand that he's getting all stressed out and he's not very... He doesn't feel very good about this. Check it out, turn off the lights, because this game is so detailed. What I was thinking about, what if they made a game that kinda looks like this, like Grand Theft Auto 3? Because, think about it, like modern computers can run this game pretty well. My computer isn't even that great. And it can run this game pretty well. So what if they made a game that looks kinda shit, like the graphics are low resolution, models are like low poly, like GTA 3 for example. Now this is some weird fucking placement of a fucking fan, specifically the murder me, I guess. And if they made like a really enormous fucking map and made it a role-playing game, but I don't mean like an RPG like Oblivion or something, I mean like the GTA 5 role-playing servers where you like can play as a cop, you can arrest other players for bad behavior. I always found something amusing about the fact, because whenever I would like play that, I would, oh shit, that's scary. I would imagine that, you know, everyone kind of wants to be the odd one out. Like, they want to roleplay as a fucking street performer or something. They want to roleplay as a murderer. Nobody wants to roleplay as like a fucking paramedic or something. But that's what they do in these servers, and they take it pretty seriously. Because whenever you would like try to roleplay as a murderer, they would like get upset about it. Or at least that's my experience with the whole roleplay thing. Yeah, that's what I try to do. And I probably ruined everyone's fun by trying to murder them. But I was role-playing. What is the real deal? This is a roleplay server, right? Don't allow me to fucking roleplay, you fucking assholes. It's whoever I want. Just like in real life. If I want to murder people with a crowbar that I mentioned last episode, I'm gonna fucking do that. I don't care. And I feel like this crowbar looks actually the same as this game's crowbar. Except it's not red, it's just all black. But, you know, having a crowbar isn't really anything special. I just fucking had it laying around in my basement, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be my murder weapon. I'm just fucking kidding, I don't murder people. Just in case some of you don't get the fact that I'm speaking all sarcastically and you actually believe me, because that happens to me sometimes. I would say something like, oh yeah, I fucking love that whatever bullshit someone's talking about, and they're like, oh really? Well, I love it too. And I'm like, no, it's garbage, what are you talking about? I was just joking. Also, the weather is outside, it's all fucked up. I'm not sure if this game has some lighting problems, but you might even say there's no fucking lighting right now. Like, you see how everything's so white, like so bright? It might be because I turn on the lights. I mean, there are shadows and there are lighting things, but what I'm getting at is when I was playing Half-Life 2, and whenever the game did the transition thing between levels, sometimes it would glitch out, and I would lose lighting. Lighting would disappear. And what I mean by that is that, like, shadows would fucking disappear, and there would be no shadows around. Barney, watch out, if only I could speak, if only you fucking defended yourself. Oh man, you're actually doing well. Oh, never mind. I thought you actually might have had a chance to make it. Poor Barnard. Barnard? I really found it funny how they call him Benry in the VR series. And I guess they call him Benry because they fucking... the guy who played Benry kind of forgot what the fuck his name was, because it was Barney. Benry, Barney. And because of that fucking series, I'm keep getting them too confused. I really like how the series started as a... there's a fucking thing in some of the later acts. I guess they separated the series into acts. There was like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, 4 I think was the final one. And in Act 3, like the second part of Act 3, in this turret, I guess that's where I gotta go, unfortunately. And what happens in that act is there's this like general dude, and his deal is that he keeps saying like, Irate Gamer was not a ripoff of AVGN, and that's his whole point that he's trying to get across. And I guess they were trying to make him the villain of the fucking series, but then he disappears. And when Benry, when Benry turns into like this demon monster at the end, revealing that he was never human, he was like an alien, and that's why he was keep fucking appearing out of nowhere and spying on everyone. He's keep trying to say that Heavenly Sword was not a ripoff of God of War. Like, he fucking dies and he just keeps saying that Heavenly Sword was not a ripoff. And it's like, well, first of all, it wasn't a ripoff. But it was similar to God of War. It was basically trying to be like a new spin on God of War. I'm not even sure who the fuck made Heavenly Sword. Wasn't it actually? Hold on, I actually got my phone for once around here. I'm gonna look it up. Heavenly Sword was like an exclusive for PS3 and never got a sequel. But man, did the game looked cool. I don't remember how it played. Oh shit, it was a while ago, but I don't remember ever hating the game. I thought it was great. How do we fucking even spell that? Heavenly... oh, there we go. Heavenly Sword. Oh, it's Ninja Theory.
What did I have to do to you?
It's like Metacritic. Metacritic, hold on. Heavenly Sword for PS3 reviews. 79 score on Metacritic and 8.2 on user ratings. I guess the game must have sold pretty badly since it never got a sequel. Did it never get a sequel? Maybe it will on PS5. Who knows? Everything's getting a sequel or a remake. Heavenly Sword 2. 2014 trailer. I mean, there's first thing that comes up are videos saying where the hell is Heavenly Sword 2, so I suppose it's not a thing. That's unfortunate, whatever. Oh, the fucking character, the main character of Heavenly Sword, she was playable in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, which, if you don't remember, there were rumors about it getting a sequel on PS5. Oh, that's some lovely noises, lovely stuff happening. And, man, I'm all for it. I would fucking play that game. Unless it's shit again. And it's funny because I beat in PlayStation, the original PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale with every character. I really liked it when I played it the first time. I also really liked the fact there was a crossfight functionality, which was really underutilized by Sony. Not many games get that functionality, because not many games came out both on PS3 and PS Vita, so I guess that's why they never use it all that much. But you know what PS Vita is pretty useful still for? Being a controller for PS4, you can use it as a controller. I admit it's not the best way to use it as a controller, but if you have a PS Vita lying around and you know you just don't want to fucking go and buy a new PS4 controller because they're expensive and you can't use anything else. You know what I wish people still made, because it's kind of hard to find nowadays? Third-party controllers. Like, you know, remember how PS2? As a kid, I got my PS2 and I had an original controller, but it like broke after a while of playing, and what I did when my dad bought me like a whole fucking bag of fucking third-party controllers for like a cheap price, and half of them didn't work. Some of them worked, like for one analog wouldn't work, so I would like use this one for platformer games because you didn't have to use a camera for that one. So I got these very specific controllers, like each one had a different fucking error in it. Each one had a different quirk about it. Like this one didn't work analog, this one didn't work triangle button didn't work. This one had these buttons reversed somehow. And one positive thing about it was, oh, I remember having a fucking Star Wars Yoda controller that lit up green whenever it was functioning, and that was the only one that worked like properly. I remember it, but it was like so tiny in my hands. Even as a kid, my hands and my tiny kid hands, the controller was still fucking tiny. And what happened, what I'm saying is that I wish the fucking console, like, the people still made controllers like that, like fucking third-party, unofficial controllers, because they could be like cheaper alternatives. And pretty much all I would need them for is just simply whenever someone would come around to play some games with me, and I could just give them like, oh, you'll have this rip-off controller, because whenever, you know, after like maybe I would play it for like a long periods of time, I bet the controller would break. Maybe not like because, oh, I would get so mad I would throw it at the ground. I don't fucking treat my stuff like that. I have some fucking level of respect towards the things I buy, and I don't fucking...
I just overheard a secure access transmission. Soldiers have arrived and they're...
Well, nothing but bad news. Thank you. I didn't fucking need to hear that. And... so what gun is this? Fucking holds 17 bullets in it. Looks like a Beretta, I don't know. How many bullets does a Beretta hold? Man, having my phone around really makes me all smarty pants because I can look up shit that I don't fucking know. Man, I can hear the rain outside of my room. How many bullets? Does a Beretta hold? It holds because there's many. Oh my god! Now I got into whole fucking different models from each fucking different year, different fucking manufacturer. Jesus, so many different things about guns, man. I can totally understand why people are into guns, because there's so many types. There's shitty guns, there's good guns. There's just basically a lot to learn and a lot to know about guns. It's not like, what's the thing I really hated? I don't know. There was a thing that was basically, I don't even fucking know what I'm trying to say. Like, whenever people are into stuff like video games, you know, there's a lot to know about video games. There's a lot of video game developers, there's a lot of video game genres, a lot of video games history. For example, speaking of history, this week, when I'm recording this, of course, this week, I think it was yesterday actually, I checked my Twitter and I'm like, what's this whole L is real? And it turns out what happened is the source code, my god, it's like a fucking rain outside, it sounds fucked up. What happened is Mario 64 source code leaked, and people found the Luigi model in the game, and they put it together and you can play as Luigi officially. Official Luigi model from Nintendo. Now the thing I don't get is people are like, oh my god, Luigi was in the game all along. Yes, he was in the game all along, because they even, I think even Nintendo fucking confirmed that he was in the game all along, because and I'm all the way here. Yeah, this happened a couple of times in this fucking playthrough. Like when I was just reckless and I was running into aliens like this. Look how many cans there are on the ground, and I can't pick them up. But when I get them out slowly, then it's fine. So, I'm trying to say, yeah, I way went back this much. Maybe that's why this episode is so long. Oh shit, maybe this is why every episode that's long is so long, because this would happen in them. Nah, man, I love how fucking well shotgun feels in this game. It's great. So what happened, and Nintendo confirmed that Luigi was intended for the game, but he was intended for like the multiplayer mode. So I don't understand why are people so all of a sudden excited about Luigi being in the game. Well, it was confirmed that he was in the game, and everyone acts like he wasn't, and it just got confirmed that, oh my god, he was in the game all along. Well, I suppose what Nintendo confirmed also is that he was planned for the multiplayer mode that never got made. So they never confirmed that Luigi model is in the game. They just confirmed that he was meant to be in the game. But the fact that he actually was never got confirmed, so I suppose there's still things to be excited about. I don't know. I tweeted that it would be funny if it... Yeah, I was trying to kill this NPC, same method, like maybe I thought maybe it would work. But it turns out if you type in kill, you die. Nice. And I'm all the way here. It's like I'm asking for it. And I wish in real life I could just type in kill and fucking kill myself, because this is what I deserve. After being a dumbass like this, I deserve to fucking die. So you know what I feel like would be really cool in this game? Maybe the remake has that functionality in Duke Nukem Forever. You have a melee option on a different button. Like you can equip your foot as a weapon. Yeah, shut up. But you can also just simply hold a shotgun and kick aliens in the face. And this is what I really like. But in this game you have to equip the crowbar and beat the crap out of aliens. And then you have to like change to a weapon, and it all very often just kind of annoyed me. Especially since in this game you don't just simply scroll to change the weapon, you have to scroll and then select the weapon you want. Which if you play Gary's mod is really annoying whenever you have like a lot of modded weapons. And yeah, nice job, I didn't even fucking got him with the explosives. And what I got, also I don't know why I didn't went back, there was like stuff to do there and I didn't grab it. Yeah, and it's really annoying in Gary's mod when you got like shit ton of weapons. You know what I thought just now? I mean, I thought, but I kind of was talking about different things. I was thinking, what if I like read? Because one time in my life, I was like watching Game Grumps. Not one time in my life, but I was watching Game Grumps, I think Sonic Unleashed Let's Play, and they were reading these fan fictions. And I felt like, Jesus Christ, those fan fictions are ridiculous. It's just a bunch of orgy after orgy. What is this fucking bullshit? And I was like, I'm gonna read one. And I looked up Crash Bandicoot fanfiction. And there was a Crash Bandicoot fanfiction, of course there fucking was. So what I thought would be kind of interesting is I maybe read a fanfiction like they did, maybe. I'll make fun of it. I read two fanfictions. One was with Crash being like in a band and he was like having some romance with some OCs. And it was like, oh man, and there was a sex scene, and I was like reading this and I was kind of laughing. Because it was like Crash moaned and blah blah blah, and I was like, oh man, what the fuck. The other one I read immediately started with Crash just like grabbing guns, and I was like, okay, this one I don't think it's fucking serious. Because what happened in that one, Coco got raped by Cortex, Crash was like, my sister got raped, I'm gonna murder everyone, and he grabbed guns. And they described how many guns he grabbed and what guns he grabbed, and of course he had like dual Desert Eagles and shit, and I was like, oh man, he's so badass. And the third fanfiction I read was like, I think it might have been like, it was a Borderlands 2 one. But it was like, I don't know if it was like supposed to be maybe some kind of like anime tie-in, because what happened in that one is like it followed Gage and she was like doing some mission and she ended up like going to a different planet through a portal or something, and then she was like in some kind of some kind of school for like badasses or whatever, like Vault Hunters. And I felt like weird, like there's some characters that are just like OCs, but then it's like Wilhelm trying to hunt her down, and I mean Wilhelm's dead after the events of Borderlands 2, so I guess they just kind of changed the continuity. You know, they brought back Wilhelm. And there were like many things that were kind of weird like that.
What are you doing down here? Get topside. I hear troops are coming in to save us.
Yeah, they're coming in to save us. Sure, Barney. Sure, Benry. Whatever you say, bro. Nice. Nice jump. Nice fucking jump. Me. Will I be able to get through the... No. No. I swear to God, a fucking fan killed me. And I'm all the way back here. It wasn't even moving fast enough for me to fucking get harmed by it. It didn't even look sharp, it looked like it was made out of fucking foam or something like that. It looked like it was a fucking Lego piece. But no, I'm dead. Because I glitched in the fucking wall or something. I didn't even glitch, I just got stuck in the fucking fan. This is bullshit. Yeah, and what do you think about me reading the Full Life Consequences fanfiction? Because I don't want to just read some fanfiction of a different video game all together, but I want to like read a Half-Life related one. And I feel like, okay, how about John Freeman's adventure? Half-Life, Full Life Consequences. Half-Life, but if it was written by a bot, was also really funny. There was like this thing about Moist Pan, or whatever the fuck, and I think it was the plot of Hunt Down the Freeman, but was written by like a bot. I don't know how they got this to be written by a bot also. I guess they just gave the... They might have made like a bot that was meant to be like rewrite the story. Like maybe they gave the entire fucking script to Hunt Down the Freeman to the bot. And then the bot took it and was like, oh, I'm gonna change these things. It kinda sounded like as if they took the whole script of Hunt Down the Freeman, they put it in a Google Translate. They translated it into a couple of languages. And then back to English. And that's why main character is named Moik Pan. Moik Pan, my favorite Half-Life character. What is your favorite Half-Life character? Mine is Kazuma Kiryu. Wait, I mean, that's not a Half-Life character. My favorite Half-Life character is GLaDOS. I guess it's because Portal and Half-Life do take place in the same universe, but I think the episode's ending, so see you fellas in the next episode.
What the hell are
Bye.
you doing?